Good Wednesday evening, June 12th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. 2 major brush fires, 3 house fires, and all the run-of-the-mill emergency calls have put a high demand this week on the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. We will visit with Fire Chief Brian Brett. NCW Libraries is celebrating the finished construction of the Wenatchee Public Library with a grand reopening ceremony later this month. And get ready for a beautiful Thursday before wind and cooler temperatures head our way by Friday and this weekend. Your local weather forecast is coming up. A 28-year-old mother is dead and a male person of interest sought in her homicide, which left her distraught child alone to be found by police. East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton says his agency was sent on a welfare check about 9:26 p.m. last night to an apartment in the 500 block of Eastmont Avenue. Inside the locked apartment, police saw a 4-year-old boy crying and apparently alone. Officers entered the apartment and found his mother dead in a locked bedroom. Hampton said the victim had marks on her body consistent with violence. Police declined to identify the victim, but said a person of interest was identified and is being sought on suspicion of second-degree murder. Hampton said Washington State Patrol Crime Lab technicians are working with East Wenatchee detectives to gather evidence today. 2 major brush fires, 3 house fires, and all the run-of-the-mill emergency calls have put a high demand this week on the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. No one was injured, but Chief Brian Brett says structure fires on Orondo, Highland, and Marsh Street kept his crews occupied through Monday and Tuesday, along with the Palisades Road fire, the Highway 2 grass fire near Baker Flats, and even a contribution to the large Pioneer fire still burning along the shore of Lake Chelan.
Well, actually, the call volume wasn't significantly beyond our normal call volume. We respond to 17 to 20 calls a day. However, Monday and Tuesday, we responded to 47 calls within 48 hours. And what stood out to us was the severity and the frequency of the calls. For example, we had 2 brush fires, we had 3 house fires, and we had 6 cardiac arrest calls and a call for a water rescue, in addition to 39 other calls. And fortunately, our on-duty staff was supplemented by the majority of our off-duty career staff and the employers in the valley that employ our amazing volunteer firefighters. They gave them time off, so we had an amazing volunteer presence as well, and we were able to fortunately handle all those incidents. The duration and commitment of our resources on brush fires or building fires is significant compared to a cardiac arrest call, which is 2 apparatus and a battalion chief for 30 to 45 minutes, or automobile accidents are the same. We're out of service for a brief moment of time. However, the brush fires and building fires, they can take hours, if not days, and we were literally responding between the Palisades fire, the US Highway 2 fire, and the fires we had in the buildings throughout the night.
Chelan County Sheriff's deputies were called on for a remote rescue operation Monday to the Maple Pass area near the border with Okanagan County. 2 hikers became stranded and radioed for help just after 6 p.m. when snowy conditions and lack of preparation stranded them on the trail. A sheriff's helicopter team landed on the snowfield carrying 2 Okanagan County Mountain Rescue team members and carried the hikers to safety. The sheriff's office notes there's still a lot of snow left at high elevations, and anyone traveling in the backcountry should be ready for changing conditions. Construction on the Wenatchee girls softball field is making progress. The Wenatchee School District shared an update on social media which said the complete footings for the press box and locker rooms with the dugouts set to be done this week. The outfield posts are now installed, and the district said businesses interested in advertising on the posts can contact the Athletic Booster Club. Construction on the field began in late April, and a groundbreaking ceremony was held in May, which was attended by Wenatchee High School softball players and district administration. The softball field is scheduled to be complete in August. When we come back, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is attempting to locate a 37-year-old man who went missing last August. Eastmont art teachers gathered at a Monday school board meeting to express their concern and disappointment over the loss of art classes at the elementary school level. And if you watched your browser spin for several hours yesterday while you tried to access Chelan County's online services, you weren't alone. We'll tell you the cause coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I'd know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, Ons, Patagonia, and now a full line of Warrior products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is attempting to locate a 37-year-old man who went missing last August. Joshua Dean Griffin was first reported missing out of Colorado in March of 2023 and was located in Wenatchee the following June after finding temporary work in the area. He went missing again in August, and in April of this year, a backpack that contained Griffin's items, including his wallet with ID and clothing, they were found on a hiking trail outside of Leavenworth. A press release by the Sheriff's Office says Griffin, who is 5'7" and 155 pounds, was known by family and friends as someone who walked regularly, including long distances. The Sheriff's Office is encouraging those with information on his whereabouts to call Detective Paul Nelson at 509-667-6843. Eastmont art teachers gathered at a Monday school board meeting to express their concern and disappointment over the loss of art classes at the elementary school level. To prepare for next year's budget, Eastmont reduced costs through attrition, reassignments to open positions, and using grant funding sources to fully fund staff as they battle inflation and slight enrollment decline. This meant 2 art teachers will be moved to classroom teacher roles, and art will now be taught in homeroom classes. Cascade Elementary School art teacher Angie McGinnis spoke at the meeting and said art is the only program in the district to serve all students.
All. Our special friends in life skills who need extra support physically, yep, you guessed it. They're successful in art. Lisa and I tailor each lesson to these children's individual needs, and you should see the smiles on their faces. All. Students with the wiggles, those kiddos who have a real hard time sitting still and paying attention, you should see them when you put a paintbrush in their hand. It's magic. All. Students with those biggest behavior needs, we serve them too. And guess what? They're successful. All. Countless staff, parents, students, and community members have reached out since this decision was made, and I want to thank every single one of you. for your encouragement, your shared shock, frustration, and heartbreak for our students to lose the one extra bit of joy in an otherwise data-driven testing world of core academic areas.
The budget for the 2024-2025 school year will not be adopted until August 19th after a budget hearing on July 15th. North Central Washington Libraries is celebrating the finished construction of the Wenatchee Public Library with a grand reopening ceremony later this month. A 2015 capital campaign raised $1.4 million in an effort to revitalize the library, which was completed over 2 phases. Phase 1 occurred in 2019 and 2020. It included HVAC and technology upgrades and a fresh coat of paint on the interior and exterior of the building. Phase 2 of the construction began in January and included the development of a teen space, meeting rooms, redesigned staff work areas, and more. The free reception will be held on Thursday, June 20th from noon to 1 p.m., and the library will be hosting several events, including a Magic the Gathering night at 4 p.m. If you watched your browser spin for several hours Tuesday while you tried to access Chelan County's online services, you weren't alone. The county's website and various service portals were part of an outage when the Chelan County PUD began a fiber service upgrade. That work, unfortunately, led to outages that were longer than expected, and the county government was among users that lost access. County Public Information Officer Jill Fitzsimmons says web services were restored by 4 p.m. Coming up next, Thursday marks the official day of the annual Wenatchee Bluegrass Festival, now in its 21st year. We'll have more on that in tonight's feature story. Nice weather tomorrow with cooler and windier conditions on tap for Friday and this weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Have you noticed how expensive it is this summer to feed a family at most restaurants? Even a burger basket for 6 people can run you $60. But at Abby's, you can still feed a family of 4 to 6 for less than $26. Real value. That's one more reason we're legendary. We know what Abby's customers like on their pizza. Meat. Lots of meat. That's why this month, we're piling on the classic pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and beef. Abby's Triple Topper has the meat you love, and right now, it's on sale. Order your Triple Topper at abbys.com.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
It's a great time to go into the medical profession. And this is the perfect place to start, because this is going to provide you that basic understanding in order to get into medical school, physical therapy school. So when you are ready to head on your career pathway, wherever it is, then you've already had some experience and say, oh, it's so cool. This is exactly what I want to do. So really, you're going to leave me with 13 college credits and a license with the state of Washington.
Headaches, neck or back pain? Been injured in a car accident, a work injury, or fall? Studies show that whiplash causes pain year after year. Your neck is supposed to be curved and acts like a spring to absorb shock, but when it's damaged, it straightens or reverses, and this causes headaches and pain. The solution is our specialized comprehensive combination care. You need our team of professionals who will address every point of your injury with very specific equipment and skill. Stop by Wenatchee or Leavenworth for a free consultation.
Thursday marks the first official day of the annual Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival, now in its 21st year of entertaining at the Chelan County Expo Center in Cashmere. Concerts begin in earnest on Friday and run through Sunday. In tonight's feature story, Dan Kuntz spoke with one of the key organizers, Chuck Egner, about the festival's history and what to expect if you go this weekend.
The first one, you've seen what it's like now. The first one was pitifully small. But it was all we could handle. So, I mean, it was good for us. But, I mean, the first couple of years we tried at 2 venues, the community center and at the fairgrounds. Whew, we didn't have the staff to be able to do that properly. And then we realized that you couldn't just sustain it based on ticket sales. So we had to get aggressive and active in getting donors. Some festivals use a sponsorship model. We don't. We use a donor model. And thank goodness we have some very special donors here in Cashmere and up in Leavenworth and in other parts of the state. So our donor base is good. Then we discovered there's grants out there for nonprofits, and we're a 501c3. So we started pursuing the grant thing. And probably 5 or 6 years in, we got a grant from the Icicle Fund. And that was the thing that catapulted us from getting the best regional bands to getting good national bands. And then when that worked, that leveraged us up into the very top of the national bands.
Because then the word gets out amongst the top level bands that this is a gig that they want to come do. If they're hitting the road, they want to make sure that they can swing by Cashmere that 3rd weekend in June. The word gets out in the bluegrass community.
Yeah, it does. And our audience is attentive. Back in the Southeast, a lot of the audiences are outdoor on lawn chairs. People are talking to each other, catching up. They're not in and focused. Ours is a very intimate setting for these guys. So there's 700, 800 people in a room, just right on top of them. People aren't talking. They're just into the music. And so for the bands, it's more gratifying than playing back there. Also, there's so much less bluegrass out here than in the Southeast. You know, there it's just kind of, it's what's around. And here it's a novel thing. We have people coming from Canada, Idaho, Montana, Oregon.
Talk about Carly Arrowwood. This is a pretty interesting little story.
Yeah, Carly Arrowwood, well, she started playing well when she was 10 years old and started playing in bands when she was 10 years old. And I mean, just think about it. When I was 10, but anyway, and she got picked up by a group called Darren and Brooke Aldridge, who were back east, are pretty famous. They're a brother and sister group that has a full band, and she was a fiddle player for that for a year, for some years. And then she got hooked up with the great players in Nashville. She's from Hendersonville, North Carolina, where I played my last high school football game in the 1960s. Just a little tidbit there. Yeah, so anyway, she's great. She's a great singer and a great fiddle player. She's gotten national awards for both singing and fiddling.
Let's take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast now. And boy, not a bad Wednesday. We talked about a lot less wind today. Thankfully, we did see a lot less wind. Started to wonder a little bit, though. We had a lot of it this morning, and it went down this afternoon. And outside our weather window, what a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. All kinds of blue sky as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. Hope you enjoyed today and enjoy tomorrow. It's going to be another nice one because we have a changing weather pattern as we get into Friday. That's right, more wind moving our way. On Friday, we're going to see steady winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts from 20 to 35 miles an hour, and that includes almost all of our viewing area. The problem, too, low humidities between 15 and 25%. That is going to raise fire concerns for Friday, and we even expect windier conditions as we get into Saturday. More on that coming up. But today's high temperature and our low temperature, for that matter, pretty much right where we should be for this time of year. 75 unofficially today, 77 is our normal high, while 54 this morning, right in line with where we should be for normal at that 54-degree mark. Our record high, 94, set in 1974. Our record cold, 43, and that was in 2001. Sunrise 5:04 this morning. Sun sets tonight at 8:58. Let's get you into Thursday now, and it is going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. 86 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 85 for you folks in Quincy tomorrow, 83 for Wenatchee, also down in Ellensburg, Aniat, Chelan will all be in the low, maybe some mid-80s, and even some low 80s in Leavenworth at 81. Lake Wenatchee, beautiful place to be tomorrow with a high temperature of 79. All right, surface Breakfast Loop time. Tonight we'll see mostly clear skies, still seeing a ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest. We'll call it seasonably cool tonight with low temperatures around 50. Remember, our normal somewhere into the mid-50s. For Thursday, high clouds out there. There's that wisp of high clouds that'll move in tomorrow. It's going to warm up for us. High temperatures, low as we mentioned, into those mid-80s tomorrow, so we'll be above normal and then back to normal on Friday. Partly cloudy skies, a cold front associated with this low pressure system will bring breezy conditions on Friday. Partly cloudy skies and cooler temperatures, highs in the mid-70s to end our work week. And then to kick off our Father's Day weekend, it is going to be a windy one and cool all over Washington State. High temperatures only in the mid-60s on Saturday. Might even see a few rain showers in the forecast, especially spotty in the afternoon. For Father's Day, mostly cloudy skies, large area of low pressure down in the southwest. That's going to bring some clouds and showers our way. About a 20% chance of rain Sunday. High temperatures only in the upper 60s. Getting into Monday, look at all of the wind all over the western United States. That is going to throw clouds back our way, and we could see about a 30% chance of rain on Monday. In fact, widespread rain showers to kick off our next week. High temperatures again in those upper 60s. And then by the time we end our forecast on Tuesday, not much is going to change. Mostly cloudy skies, large area of rain showers around the west with high temperatures Tuesday, just slightly warmer into those low 70s. All right, 7-day forecast, 50 overnight tonight. High clouds and nice for your Thursday, 83 degrees. And then we're going to deal with a couple of breezy and windy days Friday and into Saturday. 74 Friday, 66 your high on Saturday. And then for Father's Day on Sunday, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for showers and 68. I think a better chance for rain. We will see that on Monday and Tuesday. Still cool, high 60s for Monday and around 72 your high temperature Tuesday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Let your voice be heard. I'm former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett, and I'd like to be your District 12 State Representative in Olympia. With my extensive experience in law enforcement, I'm eager to serve you to ensure your community and neighborhood public safety. I intend to safeguard and improve your quality of life. I support your private property rights, lowering your tax burden, helping small business to thrive, fiscal responsibility, and your public safety.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brian Burnett for State Representative.
For the second straight night, Cal Raleigh is the hero. 2 key hits that led the Mariners to a come-from-behind 4-3 victory over the Chicago White Sox at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners have won 4 in a row.
It's up the middle, Bliss showing range. Flip it, dig it, nice. Ryan Bliss, boy, I tell you what, he can go to his right. Mike, we've seen about 3 plays like that. He gets over and he's got enough arm and enough athleticism to complete the play.
And he does such a great job of throwing back across his body. Nice job by Luke Raley over at first tonight.
Here's a payoff from Diaz. And this one is sent into left field. Maldonado will come through as the White Sox get on the board. An RBI single. And it's
now Polly and playing in the Alaskan League. Here's a 3-2 pitch. The other way. Slicing drive to Loach. He not going to get it. Raley scores easily. Garver will hold at second. And the Mariners have tied it up at 1 apiece.
And this ball smoked to left.
Vaughn out to left, and it is gone. That's now 12 straight games for the White Sox with a home run. For Vaughn, that is his 7th of the season. And the White Sox retake the lead 2-1 here in the 3rd inning.
Ball was absolutely smoked. 109 off the bat, a hanging breaking ball. And Andrew Vaughn deposits it.
This one a long fly ball out to right field. Going back at the wall is Henniger, and it's back-to-back bombs for the White Sox. Paul DeYoung, his 13th of the season, leading this squad, and it's now a 3-1 White Sox lead in the 3rd.
DeYoung absolutely backed this ball up. Wow. This ball kept going, kept traveling. DeYoung doing his thing.
Later on this season too, Chicago. Here comes Julio, and he's got to play it on the bounce. Make it a force.
Got him.
52. Oh, nice play. Cal down the line. That's a fair ball. Julio walks home. And fan interference will be an RBI double on the fan interference. And Cal ringing a bell again. Another RBI for the big fella. That's his 40th. Now with 3-2 ball game, Sox on top. The hitting streak for Cal to 4 games.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up again.
That is a bullet and into the corner. Julio is rolling. Manny waving him on. Rojas scores. Julio, here's the throw to the plate. It gets away from Maldonado, and again, Cal Raleigh rings the bell late in the game. The Mariners have taken a lead. It's 4-3 in the 7th. Love that 3-0 green light to a hot hitter late in the game.
That's right.
Number 8. The 3-2. Julio's going to put it away, and the Mariners are going to win this game 4-3, taking the first 2 games of the series.
That big hit, that big double that was the game winner, was on a 3-0 pitch. Cal Raleigh said afterwards, you got to be patient, and if it's your pitch, regardless of the count, you got to swing.
Yeah, I felt like we had traffic all night. Just there were some there in the early innings that kind of got away from us. So, yeah, just staying on it and not giving up in the ABs. And, you know, you never know when you're going to get that pitch. It could be 2 strikes, could be first pitch. So, you know, doing a good job of, you know, staying in those counts, fighting pitches off, and putting something in play. I mean, green light, 3-0, it's fastball right down the middle. Get the head out. There's not, you know, don't try to fillet it. Just try to square the ball up, hit it hard. I thought that was a good opportunity to do it. Pretty good relief pitcher, pretty good slider. I know he liked going to it. So figure that would be, you know, a chance for me to get a fastball, middle of the zone, and do some damage.
Seattle goes for the series win tonight, 6:40. First pitch, Chicago will go with right-hander Jonathan Cannon. The Mariners will go with Bryce Miller. To the scoreboard, we win, almost everybody else loses. We like that. Look at the Rangers. They got clobbered by the Dodgers last night. That gives the Mariners a 6.5 game lead over Texas. They have a 7.5 game lead over the Rangers, even though Houston won. The Padres beat the Athletics, and the Diamondbacks over the Angels. Bellingham walked 9 Wenatchee Apple Sox batters last night, but you wouldn't know by the final score. 6-1, the Bells over the White Sox, game 1 of their 3-game series. Joel Norman, the voice of the Apple Sox, has the wrap-up.
The Apple Sox bats went quiet on Tuesday night in the series opener against the Bellingham Bells as Wenatchee fell by a 6-1 score. Wenatchee collected just 3 hits in the ballgame. They did draw 9 walks, but left 9 men on base. It was a 1-1 ball game heading into the 7th inning when Bellingham took the lead on a sacrifice fly and then added back-to-back 2-run frames to kind of run away with things over the final 3 frames. Wenatchee committed 4 errors in the ball game, 3 of which came over those final 3 innings. The loss overshadowed a great outing by Jack DiDonato, just 1 unearned run and 4 strikeouts in 6 innings of play. Apple Sox look to even up the series tonight as they take on the Bellingham Bells again at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Apple Sox face the Bells again tonight at 6:35. Garrett A. Hearn makes his Apple Sox debut. Just came up from school. Their season is over. Welcome to the Wenatchee Valley, Garrett. Of course, we will have the game right here on the NCWLIFE channel. West Coast League scores from last night. Take a look. Of course, there's the Bellingham-Wenatchee score. Kelowna easily over Edmonton. Nanaimo beat Victoria. Port Angeles beat Walla Walla. The Walla Walla's been struggling big time so far this year. Bend doubled up on Springfield. Ridgefield scored a touchdown and a field goal to beat Yakima Valley. And Cowlitz over Kamloops 9-3. We'll see you at the ballpark tonight, folks. 6:30 broadcast, 6:35 first pitch. Looking forward to it, and those are just some of the games that people are playing.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.